Anyone, either one.
Okay.
So you ready?
All right.
And oh, we've been recording.
What are we
Hey,
talking about?
hey, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you and that hat that you have on.
Oh, the hat?
Yeah.
The veteran hat?
There you go. I saw that. I saw that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that hat.
Uh,
That's if it's yours now. You can't be wearing your dad's hat or you found it at the Goodwill.
no,
It's got to
that's
be
my
something.
hat.
Okay. You know, people find nice treasures at the Goodwill and they could think just, so I'll put it on. So I'm from the U.S. Navy veteran now. No, 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 no. You have to earn it.
Actually, my other veteran buddy from high school, when I met up with him in Tennessee,
Mhm.
he presented me with this hat.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah, and I was in the Navy as a hospital corpsman.
A hospital corpsman.
Hospital corpsman, yeah, medic.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, from 73 to 77.
So if I pass out, you can resuscitate me. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Will it be mouth to mouth?
Huh?
I'm waiting. Nothing like a good old mouth to mouth resuscitation
Yeah,
during the middle
right.
of the day.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you for serving our country and putting in the effort. That's a lot of work.
Oh, not that much. I did it because my dad was in the Air Force. I didn't know what else to do when I got out of high school. I spent a year here in my senior year, and in San Bernardino.
Okay, well, there's not San Bernardino, so you probably made a good choice.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, I did. San Diego, then it turned it out to be San Diego.
okay, that's not a bad spot.
And we're back to
Yeah,
San Diego again now.
yeah,
All
San
right.
Diego. That's why the commonality in San Diego with me, um, there was quite influential years from 18 to 25, 27.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's what you call some years.
yeah, about 27. I gave up on the town. Um, got myself into Valley College and
Dolly College?
yeah, San Bernardino Valley College.
Oh, Valley. I thought you said Dolly as in Dolly Parton.
Valley of the
Dolly
Girls.
Parton's College. Yeah.
That's all right. Valley. Okay, we'll take Valley over Dolly.
Dolly.
Okay, what do you think about the Pope? He just left us. He said he only wanted to be buried in a box.
Oh,
He had a little,
bless, bless his soul.
yeah, there was a little inscribed writing on the outside. So right there it says, "Put two boys in there." No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm being bad. I'm being bad. I'm being the funny lady.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I get it. You know.
No, he was a great pope, according to what everybody said about him. He seemed to be pretty uprighteous and loved everybody and would seem to be a pretty fair pope.
I liked some of the things that he was inspiring and bringing in people in all relations. If you're a believer in God through Jesus,
Right, right.
then there you go. You're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't complicate the matter.
No, keep it simple, stupid, as they used to tell me. Keep it
Yeah.
simple.
I,
Keep the
I,
matter simple. But it's nice to have you on the podcast today. We're just here driving around, making a few jokes, having a little fun, and enjoying the nice day today because it's very nice out here in Southern California.
yeah. In Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
up in Victorville,
Oh,
in the upper desert.
with that note, we're going to take a break. You said Victorville. Oh my God, we got to take a break. We'll come
No.
back to that one. Victorville. We'll be back. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
No, you stay.
And we're back. That's right, Chris. We're right back at you. So we were
All right.
talking about some of the people that are sponsoring us today, that's giving us some love, and one of the people that are one of the foundations that we really like to thank today is Bridge the Digital Divide. You know, it's we're trying to bridge that gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you had somebody that was sponsored on that end. Who was that?
Well, we can bring in Perfect Vision.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, Perfect Vision. Perfect-vision.com.
Haven't had that in a while, but yeah, let's bring it in.
Yeah. Well, they're a group that's accumulated quite a few various carriers, and in any given area, maybe a carrier says, "Yeah, let's go in this area, like in this area in Mississippi,
Okay.
and bring in more connectivity into the rural sectors."
Okay. That sounds
Yeah,
pretty
that's
amazing.
that. So we have a sponsor that we can get into as far as corporate sponsors,
Let's talk
and
about it.
I think Perfect Vision would be a perfect one.
Well, let's talk about it. What do they
All
do?
right.
Yeah, give us some information.
Um, they started in 1978, I believe, in
Wow.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
My
Little
daddy's
Rock.
state. Right.
Little Rock.
Little Rock. Yeah, we know a little about Little Rock with the little girls and all that. Yeah, we know about Little Rock. But we're gonna focus on the good. We're gonna focus on the
We're gonna
good.
focus on the big girls.
Yes.
Let's focus on the big girls.
Can you bag it up? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so tell us a little bit about it.
um, well, they started in the carrier business as far as cable TV, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've stolen enough of that in my lifetime.
you have.
Yeah, just a little bit. Borrow from my neighbor, pull a wire in, pull a wire out. Just a little hood stuff. It's all good in the hood. Twice as
What
nice
do you,
as they bought the fried rice. They bought that fried rice and we good now.
good.
Yeah,
You got
so
your splitter going.
you said it, bro. You already know.
Yeah, I know it. I work cable.
There you go. You probably hooked up some for me
I
before.
laid a lot of cable.
I'm skipping that one. Hammer time. Can't touch that. Can't touch that. I won't touch it.
Can't touch that
I
cable.
won't touch that cable.
That cable is a hot one.
Hot one. A hot mess is what it is.
Hot mess.
A hot mess. So we're gonna skip over that and get
You
back
can
to
excuse me.
yeah. There's no excuses for this behavior. There's no excuse. So yeah, you were telling us. And what was the other sponsor that you talked about?
Um,
Grateful living.
Grateful Living. That's right. Grateful Living House, where the housing, we bring in the housing, we bring in the health care, we bring in the education, and we allow you to earn a good living.
Oh man, that's so nice to earn it. Not just give it to us. Sometimes people think because they're less than or they're in a situation or have gotten themselves in positions where they need help that it's mandatory that they get it. And then they don't even want to work for it. They just want you to hand it to them on a platter. And we all know that if a man don't work, he don't get to eat. And the same thing, if you don't work, why should you have someone else to take care of you? So if you can have some situation where you can make a man or a female by giving them an opportunity to earn and learn and earn their own money. And that means you can have a little bit of input. But if you're taken care of by the government or by other people, grants and stuff like that, You have to follow their course. But if you're making your own money, doing your own thing, earning it,
Self-sufficient.
self-sufficiency, it's
That's right, because
everything.
it's the best way.
It's the best
It
way. And
brings
you,
in brings in people's pride, and
yes,
they
and you
feel
start
good
to
after
feel
that.
good about yourself, and you feel good that you can say, "Hey, let me take you out to lunch today," instead of always having somebody have to take you out or that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a great thought to
So
be
is
able to.
that San Diego and LA?
Yeah.
Okay, San Diego. Okay, cool. Yeah, I love San Diego. What part is that in San Diego?
It could be anywhere.
Okay, so it's the whole city, pretty much.
Uh, it mixes housing. Obviously, I say, housing, a roof over your head.
Mhm.
It's, bringing in the educational element into the household where you're living. So
Chris,
it's focused learning.
Chris,
Uh, yeah.
Chris, tie it to the Indian, the Native American.
Well, same thing. They have a village, in even in the house, and then in the village where you're allowed to do projects
Mhm.
and learn skills through group learning.
Okay.
And then what about the federal land grant that we were talking about?
Oh, for the affordable housing, yeah. Uh, Going in the ranch housing, I like. If people are having problems connecting the dots, sometimes if they just slow down their life a bit, take a step away from the city,
Mhm.
live in the country a bit, take it all in, have hikes and activities and working with the animals, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the forestry,
Agriculture.
the forest housing that you sent me that we're working on the initiative, the federal
Oh,
program with the park.
that's that actually comes from understanding that in certain areas of the country they're complaining that there's not affordable housing available for even the workers to work there in the town.
Mm. But is that true?
Yeah, in a lot of cases that's the truth. Whereas the real estate value's gone up so high, that so this goes back to the Grateful Living House and setting up encampments and um, in the oil patch industry they call them man camps.
Man
But
camps.
yeah, but you set up man and women camps, and you learn you promote the trades through focused learning.
Okay. Kind of like
Like
teaching them how to fish.
yeah, in focused learning atmospheres. Of course, you make it fun and you make it adventuresome. Uh,
Keep it interesting, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
Love it.
so that's the idea of the Grateful Living House concept.
I love the concept because, like I said, there's so many people that are without a home, or some of these people they really think they at home the way they be just laying on the street like, what's your address, bruh? You know, you need to put some cover on your back. Your whole booty is out. That's what I call them self encampments, where they just make their own way on the concrete or anywhere. They just feel like wherever they drop, they're at home. That's not cool.
Especially in LA.
Yeah, and the thing about that part of it that bothers me most. Okay, yeah, you taking over, you live in the land of the free, but clean up your house, clean up your spot. You laying on all your stuff out, dirt everywhere, your camp all tore. No, clean up your spot. That's your house. That's where you decide to live at. Make it nice, make it neat, so that other people don't have to see it as an eyesore until you can get to the housing, one of the facilities that you're speaking of.
I honestly believe that most people need a reminder to do that.
Yeah.
They need that either they didn't get it growing up, so we need to instill that. And there's some people that, I understand it.
Yeah. I mean,
I
there's a
worked
lot of
with
it, a
my,
mental illness
yeah,
too.
exactly. I worked with my nephew that was that way.
Mhm.
And then finally, he slowly, what we call grow up. He
Mhm.
slowly grew up, and now he holds a steady job,
Same with my
and he's doing
brother.
just fine. You know?
Yeah. Some of
Yeah.
us it takes a little longer, and I remember my mom saying that. He's like, you spoil him, yada yada yada. And she was like, well, he needs a little bit more than you guys do. You guys are self-sufficient. You can make it. I had to put a little bit more in him, and you guys have to help me. And I was like livid when she's telling me to help her. I'm like, this man, what? This is a grown man with kids of his own. You telling me to help him? But he's getting there. I think he got about 5 more years to go. Hopefully it'll be a little shorter, but who knows? Some takes longer than others.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come right black.
All right.
Right black at you.